This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
Wenatchee is gorgeous in the spring with its lush green rolling hills, abundant wildflowers everywhere, and the views of the Columbia River. The local food scene offers an abundant selection of authentic international cuisines featuring the unique farm-fresh ingredients of the region. Wenatchee is also home to award-winning wines, handcrafted hard ciders, and a talented handful of local brewers producing fine craft beers. Visit Wenatchee, the heart of Washington State.
Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your driver's license is important so you can get back and forth to work, get your kids to school, and back and forth to daycare. If your license has been suspended because you can't pay your tickets, you can't do any of those things. Let's talk about Chapter 13 bankruptcy. You may have heard that tickets cannot be discharged, but they can be dealt with in a Chapter 13 case. Why not come in for a free consultation? The chapter you choose will make all the difference to your getting back legally on the road. Let's design a plan to pay off your tickets and restore your license immediately. I'm attorney Travis Gagne. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
99.9 KISW, the Rock of Seattle. We got ourselves here a survey. And in this survey, they said, all right, folks, what qualities do you look for in a potential partner? And the number one answer is not me. No way.
The opposite of myself.
This is a beating. If this is the number one partner, it's a good thing I'm not looking because I would be done. It would be over for me. I don't know if now with that clue, not only is it not me, it is something I'm terrified of. Like I get all shakes and everything when I have to do this.
Oh, to cook.
Good job, buddy. That's number one.
Wait, cooking gives you the shakes?
Yeah, remember he would tell us he gets anxiety from it.
That's Steve right. Listens. I know that you, Danny, and Vicky are doing your thing. You don't listen to me.
I hear everything
Steve
you say.
cares about me.
I do.
Yeah, you have to be a good cook. That is the number one thing. Shit.
Oh, yeah, you'd be screwed.
Yeah, that was shit I did. That's the number one thing.
That's not even in my top 10. Like I'm very lucky that my wife does cook and she makes great meals. But like when we first started hanging out, that wasn't even like, oh, no, let's have a meal. You have to cook it for me. I want to see if like you actually are potentially a relationship worthy. That's something that I feel like you could kind of grow into or get better at with practice. Like, why would that be a deal breaker? And I know it's not deal breakers, but why would that be something that would really like make me want to date somebody?
This is fascinating. I am looking on the list.
Unless they're a sushi chef.
Okay.
Ooh, nice.
And they have free unlimited access to sushi.
There is something on this list that I feel like people are lying about. Because I should say it's because it's not in the top 10. And what's that?
Looks.
Yeah, not in the top 10. I'm sorry.
No one wants to come off as being shallow.
But being shallow is one thing, but being a complete inauthentic idiot is another thing. Now, look, I can't speak for women, but heterosexual women, but I can speak for myself. And I will tell you that if my wife wasn't attractive to me, I wouldn't be with her. Because there are a lot of great women out there who I know are great women, but it's like I would not want to be with them based on how they look.
Not every time, but more often than not, the reason why you first start hanging out with someone or want to go out on a date with them is because you're attracted to them because of how they look. And then what happens after that is determining whether or not you want to stay in a relationship with them. I don't think there's anything shallow about that.
No, and maybe that's where this survey comes in, though. Is like you're already attracted to them. Now you're going to go into, okay, what can I actually have a relationship?
It says a potential partner, but wouldn't you think attraction is like good? Like they have to look good to you is what makes them a potential partner? Yeah. If you're already with them, Danny, then whatever.
Or not with, but I'm saying like at that point, like you've already established, like I'm attracted to this person. Mm-hmm. Now, would they be somebody that I could go further with? Yeah. Can I stay with them or can I not be with them?
I feel like if they feel like it's a given, okay, that's fine. All right, I can go with that. We'll say that they go, look, attraction's a given. So number one is good cook.
Number one's good cook. I don't know why, man. I don't know anybody that started a relationship solely because that person was a good cook.
I didn't start a relationship because my girlfriend was a good cook, but it was definitely something that in my marriage, I didn't realize I liked until after I had been married for a few years. And my ex-wife, she never cooked. It was just one of the she hated cooking. She was like BJ in the kitchen. And so at that point, it was like, well, and then I got with my girlfriend, and she would like make meals every night, like full on crazy meals. And I was like, this is something I really enjoy. And I'd be lying if I said that it wasn't something that I was like, oh, I'm going to look for this in future relationships if we didn't work out.
That seems fair. Yeah, I can understand that.
A lot of these things on the list.
I'm fine with eating out all the time. So
right.
Which is good that we don't, because we would be very broke.
Yeah.
But that's why cooking was never an issue for me, because I'm just such a fast food junkie.
Same, and I wish I could be too. But it was the same thing of just like wallet. Probably not.
A lot of these things on the list. There's one thing on the list here, number 2, that I think goes with looks. If we're going to assume that, yes, you have to be physically attractive to that person, that goes without saying, I think number 2 goes without saying too. Because there's no way you wouldn't want somebody like this. Like if I asked you, would you want somebody like this or the opposite, you would be like, who the hell would want the opposite?
A good person.
You're close. It's trustworthy.
Really?
Number
trustworthy.
2 is who wouldn't want to be? Yet only 62% of the people said that, oh, yeah, that's on my list. You got to be trustworthy.
I like to date shady people. What are you talking about?
I know.
I want to question whether or not they're in it for the good reasons.
Yeah. Isn't that what, or is that you just have a given?
I'm with you. It should be just a given.
Yeah. I feel like it's a given. Number 3, I don't know. I would bet that women like this more than men. Number 3.
Like this more than
like it's a quality that women say, I like him because he does blank. I'm not saying
everyone. Puts the toilet seat down.
He puts the toilet seat down. That is it. Number 3.
Not very flatulent.
It's it's the things they look for in somebody, not what they want to omit from somebody.
Okay.
Let's say it's entertainment. It's sort of like the person's entertaining.
Sense of humor.
There you go. Well, makes you laugh. About half the people said that, and I feel like more women look for that than men. I don't know too many dudes that go, you know what I like about her? She makes me laugh. I'm not saying it doesn't happen.
That's a big part of why I knew for a fact that I wanted to spend the rest of my life with Sid, was just because she always would make me laugh.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Like, she's got a great sense of humor.
I don't think I've really seen a whole lot of that.
Well, I keep her away from you for a reason.
Right. Okay, good reason. Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying your wife isn't pleasant to be around, but I've just never seen her sense of humor.
Well, I mean, I think she's like, sometimes and like myself as well, like a little more reserved around people. But when it's just her and I, and then you kind of just have like you all the guard is fully down, and you can just completely be a goofball. Oh man, yeah, she cracks me up all the time. It's
what I like about my friends. I mean, my wife is, every once in a while she does make me laugh, but it wasn't one of the reasons why I got with her. Though I do know women that have good senses of humor who I like as friends because of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give Vicky credit. Vicky's got a good sense of humor. Yeah. Well, at least it's a dark one, and I do like a dark sense of humor.
Yeah.
So, but I like that in my friends more so than you don't have to have that if you're going to be my significant other, because I have a sense of humor. So I feel like I'll pick up that slack for both of us. How about number 4? This is something that I'm not sure Steve's wife would say this was what she was looking for in a man.
A full head of hair?
No. A full head of hair. No, that's not it.
Okay.
Because she was actually looking for someone without a full head of hair. You were actually perfect for her.
Well, I don't know if she was necessarily looking for someone that was bald, but like she likes how I look, like me specifically. Bald. Like if she would not, she's like seen pictures of me with hair, and she's like, yeah.
So do you think she only likes you hairless because she just thinks you with hair is freaky, or do you think? Oh, I thought she just liked hairless everything.
No, I don't think it's that's like her. I don't think that's her type.
Oh wow.
Well, I mean, her favorite, like her massive celebrity crush isn't Vin Diesel. It's Justin Timberlake, who's got
he looks
he's got a lot
different.
Of hair.
Yeah. I mean, it looks like he just put like macaroni and cheese on his head.
Yeah. That's a completely different look.
Right.
Yeah. All right. I don't know.
I mean, other than that, him and I are exactly the same. It's just,
you're absolutely
great
right.
singers,
talent,
really smooth dancers.
So I don't think Steve's wife would say this about Steve, like that she was looking for this kind of man. If not, I think it might have been a problem. She just had to accept that this number 4 quality. And it's you guys are really being nice to Steve.
I'm confused.
I'm just confused by your clue.
Yeah,
I don't think anyone's trying to be nice. I'm trying to find a way to be self-deprecating, and I have no idea what the hell you're talking about.
Intelligence.
Maybe that's why we didn't get it.
Yeah. That's why you guys couldn't figure it out. So none of your significant others probably look for that in you.
All right.
There we go. Yep. Yeah. There's the rim shot.
Okay. There you go. Well, think about it, though.
We can fix that in post, Joe.
It was a great setup because if you
just eliminate the hint.
If you don't even get it, though, that actually makes it even better. That's how I look at it. I thought there's no way that joke can't work. But apparently it didn't because, it was over your heads. But anyway.
And you said your wife was in here for sense of humor, huh? I'm starting to not believe that.
Which, you know what? Listen, she's an intelligent person, so some of these jokes I get, she gets you guys. Number 5, you respect them. I don't. I mean,
who are these bitches that want us to respect them?
No, it's not that. It's like, isn't that a given? Like, who wants to be with somebody who disrespects you?
Well, it's funny because sometimes I'll get like that. Someone wants to crack jokes. They see a picture of me and my wife, like, how'd you get her? I'm like, make her laugh, treat her nice. It's really not that hard.
I do like the caveman answer, but you're right.
But I mean, it's like, okay, I get it. Take a shot at my looks, and I know she's way more attractive to me. I definitely married up. But like, if you really want the key to it, it's like treat her nice and I make her laugh. It's not that hard.
Is your wife around when they say these things?
No.
Oh, see, then, you don't say that to somebody unless the wife is there, because that's a compliment to the wife without looking like you're being a jerk, like saying too many nice things about her.
She thinks that's kind of awkward, too, because it's just like you're kind of like taking it's like an insulting thing to say to somebody.
Yeah, it's very old school, Steve.
Right.
You're absolutely right. That's the way they did it in the 60s and 70s. They always go, oh, buddy, you're out of your league, blah, 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 or you're hitting above your average or something.
What I always love about that is when someone really just doesn't stop, and then you see a picture of them and their wife, I'm like, do you feel the same way about yours, or do you like think that you are like completely like scraping the bottom of the barrel? You know what I mean? Like, it's like, why are you so surprised by that? Like,
I feel like they're actually maybe putting the moves on. Like, maybe they want your wife. If they keep going, makes you wonder, like,
But if she's not there, what are they trying to put the moves on me to help introduce them to my wife?
That might be a strategy, like Steve.
Like, what? You're right, man.
Yeah,
everything you say is so true. How about I introduce you to my wife and just take her off my hands?
What a great guy you are.
You're right. I'm really holding her back.
Yeah, I never understand somebody that doesn't end the conversation about that and just continues to talk like that. It's like, what are you getting at, buddy?
Right. Like, just get over it.
Yeah. Number 6, again. Who wouldn't want this as a thing? I mean, a lot of these things are just like, if you think of the polar opposite, nobody would want to be with this person. Like, honest. I want to be with somebody who is not trustworthy, who lies to me and doesn't respect me. That's my ideal human being.
I'm wondering if some people just don't want the brutally honest people in their life. Because I have a few friends, Sarah, who sometimes I don't want to say things to her because you can be honest with me, but she's...
No filter.
I'm going to be honest and make you feel bad about your life choices.
Well, you know what? Sarah does get that from her old man.
Yeah.
Look, and the trouble is that you don't. If you come to us, and a lot of people don't come to me. It's funny. They'll go to my wife and go, I need some life advice. And I go, that person's my friend too. It's interesting they don't come to me. And Kathy will go, yeah, they really want it to be more gentle. And I go, well, then honey, don't even talk to them. They're not serious because they've been a mess their entire life.
It's a very gentle reaction to what they
Oh,
said.
yeah. I mean, when people go to all people want is just to be loved and kind. And my wife is sort of like the universal mother. And they'll go to her and they'll go, I really want you to help me with my life. And I go, no, you don't. You just want her to pamper you and distract you. If you really want to get your life together, come to me. I will tell you what a mess you are.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you really want the truth, go to the direct person. Don't sit there and go to the flowery person. They're going to be like, oh, I don't want to hurt your feelings. You're a sweet one. You're fine. It's like, no, they're not fine. Don't tell them that. They are an effing mess.
Well, maybe that's what they want. They just want to feel better.
Well, then don't come to me.
Well, exactly.
They didn't.
Yeah, that's it.
And you're upset at them for not coming to you.
Well, because they go to my wife, and then my wife is drained, and I go, honey, you have to have better boundaries because these people are vampires. They're just sucking off your good energy. Jeez. Well, it is true. I mean, I've seen people that will just go, I want to dump my problems on you, but I don't want a solution, but you're really good at making me feel good.
That's most people.
Yeah.
I feel like
that's why I go, I got no time for you. You want to sit there and say some dumb things? You know what I mean? You want to know what's going on? And a lot of times I know what I'm talking about. Yeah.
I'm also looking at the survey. I feel like what they're saying is that, like, so you're saying, like, honest. Obviously, everyone wants somebody honest. But if they asked somebody, I don't know that honest would be my first question just because, or my first answer. So maybe that's why the percentage is so low on it. Of like only 40% of people want it.
I feel like it's a given. Like,
it is.
Like, they're not going to say, like, I want someone that will lie to me at any given moment.
Well, would that be I don't think that would be your first answer. So at that point, it's like when somebody does say, oh, honesty, it's like, oh, we have to record that answer.
I wish I knew, Danny, if they were allowed to give more answers.
Yeah.
Because you make a point. Maybe if this was their fifth answer, they go, I got to come up with something.
Right.
But I will say this.
The way that they wear their pants, that's another one that's important. Like, you start coming up with random things. The way that they sit in a car. You know,
I've said this before, though. There is a level of shallow that doesn't seem like it's shallow because they're like the attributes you're looking for. Like for instance, if you're a man and you talk about like base physical attributes, going, well, I want a girl that looks like this and has this, and and people go, you're shallow. But if somebody answers with, I want somebody who's kind and makes me laugh and who's intelligent, I think that's just as shallow because from a scientific standpoint, you go, oh, an intelligent, funny person is somebody who's charming, that can make a good living and can take care of you. If you go further and look into it, of course you want somebody who's kind. Of course you want somebody who treats you well. But the laughing and the intelligence, what if you're not that intelligent? What if you're just, a decent person that's not super smart, but you know what? You're a good person. What's intelligence mean?
Stop looking at me, man. It's rude.
Intelligence to me is a shallow thing to ask of somebody because, everybody has an average intelligence. Then you got people that are really smart. So I don't know what that means.
Well, a lot of them also honesty. I just assume that will be stuff that you find out as the relationship goes on. You really can't, what are you going to ask someone? Are you honest? What are they going to say? They're going to say yes. And if they're not honest, they're still going to say yes because they're lying.
Yeah.
And it's such a weird thing to set up I'm thinking about being in a relationship with you, but I want to make sure that you're honest. Well, of course they're going to say that they are. They're not going to say, no, actually, I'm going to bang another chick or another dude when I walk away from you in about 20 minutes.
Everything on this list to me is selfish in some way, shape, or form, except number 8, which is similar lifestyle to you. That to me makes sense. Do you have my common interest? To me, that just makes a lot of sense for starting a relationship. But saying, do I need a good cook? You got to be a good cook. It's like, are you looking for a maid too? Do you need somebody to make the beds? You know what I mean? They seem really shallow, but all right. And then similar hobbies as you, similar taste in TV shows. So 8, 9, and 10, I really agree with because I feel like that makes sense.
Well, they resonate with you, yeah.
Yeah, as opposed to you need to cook well, you need to make me laugh, I got to trust you, you better be honest and kind. Those are all things like, holy cow. What about the poor person that doesn't have a great sense of humor or maybe isn't a conversationalist? It's like, that doesn't mean they're not good people.
Yeah, you'll be like, how do you feel about oiled up men grappling with each other to win a belt even though they're not wearing pants? Are you okay with that?
This is oddly specific. I'm not sure who you're referring to, but I bet he's a good guy.
Yeah. Yeah. And when she said yes, I was like, sweet. Ring time.
Ring time.
Let's be honest. You didn't even say that.
No, I just said here.
Grunted in here.
She had to learn that, which is really funny because obviously you are in this business, you're one of the funniest guys I know. And yet in real life, when you were with her, I'm like, I don't know. It's just like that door shuts and it's like that part of Steve is not accessible.
I don't know. Dude, it's every time we watch television show where somebody does something fancy as a proposal, she will be like, still not as good as yours, huh? And I'm like, you know it.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
Wenatchee is gorgeous in the spring with its lush green rolling hills, abundant wildflowers everywhere, and the views of the Columbia River. The local food scene offers an abundant selection of authentic international cuisines featuring the unique farm-fresh ingredients of the region. Wenatchee is also home to award-winning wines, handcrafted hard ciders, and a talented handful of local brewers producing fine craft beers. Visit Wenatchee, the heart of Washington State.
$20 million, $19 million, $6 million. These are all awards recovered for clients of Phillips Law Firm. To win big, you have to fight big. And Phillips Law has been fighting the too-big-to-fail insurance industry for decades. Not every case will have a multi-million-dollar outcome, but Phillips Law will fight just as hard to recover the outcome you deserve. If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident or on the job, call or click today at 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.
99.9 KISW, the Rock of Seattle. I can't believe this, man. It was 10 years ago that Charlie Sheen lost his mind and went on his infamous hashtag winning streak.
10 years ago?
Yeah, dude.
Oh, I remember when didn't he like show up to the Everett arena and did like a show there? I remember being so bummed I missed out on that. He was supposed to call us the next day and he never did.
Oh, I went to that show.
You did?
Yeah, it was so bad. It was like watching a comedian that never hit the punchline. It legit, like he just kept going. I'm like, okay, where's the punchline? Because these are interesting stories. And then he just kept going. I'm like, well, I fell asleep.
That bad?
Yeah, that bad. I fell asleep.
But you were around greatness. I mean, at that time, was there anyone being talked about more than Charlie Sheen?
He says he still regrets it, and I still can't believe it was 10 years ago. We got a montage of the comments he made during this big meltdown phase.
People can't figure me out. They can't process me. I don't expect them to. You can't process me with a normal brain. I'm there to show others how it's done. It's not really rocket science. Sorry. Fuel of magic. Fools. Trolls. Normal people. People that aren't special. People that don't have tiger blood and, Adonis DNA. I am on a drug. It's called Charlie Sheen. It's not available because if you try it once, you will die. Your face will melt off and your children will weep over your exploded body. Too much. I've been riding it on a Mercury surfboard. Right off the bat, sorry. Epic behavior. This stuff's epic. I'm not going to say it wasn't epic. I'm tired of pretending like I'm not special. I'm tired of pretending like I'm not a total freaking rock star from Mars. Why? Because I'm a winner. Duh. Winning. Wow, winning. I call winner game over. Defeat is not an option. They picked a fight with a warlock.
A warlock. I forgot that one.
Oh,
see, when are we going to play audio of him sounding crazy, though?
Yeah, you're right. I thought we had the 10. Yeah, there's a new interview and he talks about the fact, Charlie says, I'm so glad that I traded early retirement for an effing hashtag. He said there was 55 different ways for me to handle that situation. I chose number 56. It was desperately juvenile. Charlie is almost completely inactive on social media these days. He tweets every once in a while, but he's never logged into Facebook or personally posted anything on Instagram. And Charlie says, quote, if someone wants to enlist my corpse at a funeral to TikTok, that's on them. But in this lifetime, that won't happen.
Wait, that sounds like the ramblings of Charlie Sheen from 10 years ago.
Yeah, right.
You're really enlisting his corpse to go to at a funeral?
I really wish we did. He would give us the audio for that. That's what I want. But he's developing a new show. Charlie's got a new show he's working on. And he says he hopes it'll make people forget about that time in his life and, quote, celebrate me again for what I actually do for a living.
I hate to break it to you, Charlie. I don't think anyone's going to forget what you did during that time.
No, not at all. Wow.
It did kind of hurt his career, though. I mean, I don't know the last movie that he was in, or TV show, and I don't think anyone's really willing to give him a full-on chance.
Yeah, I mean, he got booted from 2.5 Men because of it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess, 10 years ago. Yeah, it makes sense. It was that long ago. Got booted from 2.5 Men. He had another show. I forget, was it
Anger
Fox?
Management.
Oh, that's what it was.
And it was on FX. So
we watched
close,
that.
Yeah.
That was a good show.
I mean, he had that for a couple years, didn't he?
Yeah, it's like, it's a dumb comedy, but my wife and I enjoyed it.
It made it to 100 episodes.
It made it to 100 episodes?
Yeah.
That's like 4 or 5
smokes.
years right there. That's pretty good. I mean, so basically for the last, 5 years, what's he been doing? I guess.
In 2013, he was in Scary Movie 5.
Oh, well.
Okay, I take it back. He's clearly just killing it in the Hollywood
He was in
industry.
Machete Kills in 2014.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He had one scene in The Goldbergs.
Oh, well, he's had one scene in the Goldbergs. Yeah, I think I just think that everybody knows that it was, there was altered fuel. And remember we had that one chilled version of Charlie Sheen? It was like, we know what that Tiger Blood version's like. They're very up and I mean, I don't know if we still have that audio, probably not, but he was like, somebody saw him at a drive-thru or something, and it was like he was very high on something.
Yeah.
He was wicked low key.
I don't know.
And we had never heard Charlie Sheen that chilled out, as if he's like, you know what, I'm going to try something else. Instead of tiger blood, I'm going to try, I don't know, really chilled animal blood, whatever a chilled animal might be.
Like tortoise blood?
Yeah, exactly.
Tortoise.
Or tortoise.
Tortoise.
I like tortoise.
Tortoise blood?
I'd like a tortoise, please.
Go.
Yeah. I'd like a little tortoise blood, please.
I need some tortoise blood right now.
Yeah. So that's it so Charlie Sheen, 10th anniversary of that whole crazy episode of his life.
Time
for a while,
flies, man.
Yeah, he was he had stuff going on. That's why, you know what, kids, those substances, they can really affect you no matter who you are. We got this 54-year-old dude who his name is Donald. He's from Pennsylvania. And a few weeks ago, he reported that his car had been stolen, which always sucks. And the cops, I guess, they were looking around. They found it in the woods nearby. His vehicle had been set on fire, but the VIN number was still visible. Huh. So they were like, wow, this is really weird. Why would somebody just steal this dude's car and then take it to the woods and set it on fire? And finally, one of them were like, yeah, maybe nobody stole this car, because it's very weird that it would just be randomly taken, brought to the woods, burned. So they thought, hey, Donald, we got some questions for you, because maybe nobody stole your car and maybe you're the one that did this. So they got a warrant. Started looking through his phone and internet history and found out that before he called in the car theft, he'd searched for, quote, how to set your car on fire and make it look like an accident.
No,
well,
didn't do that.
Wow, you really can't search the internets anymore for stuff like this. They can figure it out.
Didn't he think that could quite possibly catch up to him? I guess he's an idiot.
Apparently not, no.
And why do you need to Google how to set a car on fire?
Well, I mean, and also do it so it looks like an accident.
Yeah,
now,
that's
I mean,
why.
Fair. Yeah, that was
anyone can set a car on fire.
Yeah,
I mean, I call 911 to ask those questions.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Hello, 911. Yes. I would ask it for a friend. Wow. Yeah. I want to make fun of this guy, but Steve, there was that time when I would use the internet and didn't know somebody else could see what I used. Like even the whole idea that you have a whole history that could be accessed with the web bar. I never, did that happen to everybody where you found that out and you're like, oh my God, you can see my whole search history?
Well, I found out my grandpa's interesting search history purely by accident.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
Nah.
Yeah. Wow, Grandpa.
Yeah, no, dude, Rev, I'm with you. I remember one time visiting my family when they used to still live in Brooklyn and went on my dad's computer and how it will autofill sometimes on the history. And I learned rather quickly that my dad still likes to, be left alone from time to time in the office.
Oh, okay.
Speaking of autofill.
Oh, man. And it just took everything. There was that you want to keep checking, but you also really don't want to know what thumbnails your father clicks on.
Unfortunately, I've gotten to see the thumbnails that everyone in my household has clicked on or been to, because for some reason this program, when you open up a file, like a picture file, it automatically opens up to a random thing like, hey, look at all the pictures in this folder. Well, it saved the cookies and data from every single website any of us went to. So MySpace at the time, whatever you Googled, and you could see pictures of all the websites, like different random thumbnails and clips. Sometimes it was just a logo.
Jeez.
And so I would periodically have to go through and delete them all because I'm like, those aren't the thumbnails I was looking at.
Wow.
So I know it was one of the two
So you
men
had
in
to
my
play
house.
the fun game of, is it my brother or is it my father?
I'm going to delete and not say anything to them, like a good daughter.
Them, and we could have had that game on the air.
Well, mind you, this was like 15 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Before I was even here.
I was going to say, if that was today, that's on them. But, 15 years ago, we were all really new to all this.
It's true.
Yeah. So man, yeah, I think that's why this guy, it just took him a lot longer to realize people they can find out what you're searching for, sir, Mr. Set Your Car on Fire, make it look like an accident guy.
Well, I never even thought about the whole idea of them just being like, hey, we have a warrant to access your phone, which is just like, that's such a crazy thing to think about. 20 years ago, no one ever even thought that your phone could help people solve crimes when it comes to how you search things.
Access your internet history. So now, I got to go to the library. The library's going to get back in style.
If you're trying to set your car on fire, go to the library.
Yeah, if you're a criminal, go to the library and do all your searching, because they got the internets there and, it's not yours.
You have to steal someone else's card because in order to access the internet, you have to put in your card number before that's how you log in.
There's a lot of crime having to be committed.
Exactly. So
one crime.
You have to steal someone's library card.
I don't want to commit all these crimes, just one crime.
Boy, I
just want a better car.
That's all. Really. This is high maintenance. All I want to do is just bring my car to the woods and set it on fire. Now I got to go. What? Oh,
that's insane. That just proves you can learn anything on the internet. I kind of want to search that, but I don't even want to have that on my computer.
Oh, no. Please.
That'd be the tamest thing you have on your computer.
That is very true.
Oh yeah, see that computer. If you ever leave the job, they're just going to burn it. There's nothing else they can do with that computer.
Stuff, yes,
it has. It's been around the block a few times.
That poor computer is just like, why can't I be in a nice office?
Well, it just proves you can learn anything on the internet. I mean,
And you can also be found out that you've learned anything on the internet.
are you guys guilty of that? Like, I don't even read instructions anymore to anything I purchase. I just instantly go on YouTube to see if I can find a tutorial for the specific thing that I bought. And I've yet to fail with that. It's like child seat, how to properly put it in. I'm like, instructions? Who needs instructions?
Who needs
when I got
this?
Sally on YouTube telling me how to do it?
Yeah.
That seems safe-ish.
I guess if you've got the right model.
Looking back on it, maybe I should read the directions.
Yeah.
Maybe when it comes to child seats.
Yeah, because I did that too.
I read the comments and everyone says good things, so I think I'm good.
All right.
I remember watching one. I'm like, okay, we're gonna do this, and then I went to I think it was the sheriff's office. They tell you some things you can and can't do, and basically what she did, you're not supposed to do.
Oh.
She was putting a towel underneath it, which is very not safe.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
So I don't trust certain videos.
Oh, underneath the child seat?
Yeah.
Oh. I use a pan. Is that okay?
A pan?
A baking pan, yeah. Like a sheet.
Pan?
Yeah.
A baking pan?
Yeah.
Not even what you...
I don't want to stain my seats. Come on, boys.
Good call.
Oh, I see what you're doing. Oh, I see. So a baking pan.
Right.
And that way, if there's anything tasty that falls in there, because you give her some good snacks. Well, I'm saying,
snacks.
you give kids snacks. Listen, Rev, let me tell you.
She gets the best snacks.
Yeah, Rev, you may never ever get to know this. I don't know, but Steve is going to in the next couple of years understand that his back seat will be a petri dish of everything. When we finally get rid of our van, we said, we should clean it out before we trade it in. It was like a retrospect of every meal my kid ever had as a child. Everything was back there. Everything falls in it was disgusting.
Well, then it'll just be like father, like daughter, because the front seat, I'll find like a French fry. I'll find a lollipop. I find all the good stuff.
Oh,
the Halloween candy.
The only difference between you and your daughter is she's smart enough to know not to eat those things when she finds them.
But the lollipop's still wrapped. I think it's still fun.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, well, besides, Steve has a pan under his seat. He catches everything.
Thank you, BJ.
Yeah.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. He's here right now and has agreed to answer more of your questions about bankruptcy. Here's a question from a listener. My house is currently in foreclosure. I've stopped making payments. What can I do to save my house?
If you're already in foreclosure behind on your mortgage, you can stop the foreclosure by filing a bankruptcy. There's different types of bankruptcy. Chapter 13 can help you catch up on your house payments if you're behind. It would mean that you'd have to start making your house payments again and catch up on the amount that you're behind over 5 years. You could also take off or strip off your second mortgage, which would help you to reduce your housing payment every month, especially once you're done with the plan and done catching up on your first mortgage. We could also try to buy you some time by filing a Chapter 13 case. Filing a Chapter 13 would definitely stop your foreclosure.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com. And thanks for listening.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
Wenatchee is gorgeous in the spring with its lush green rolling hills, abundant wildflowers everywhere, and the views of the Columbia River. The local food scene offers an abundant selection of authentic international cuisines featuring the unique farm-fresh ingredients of the region. Wenatchee is also home to award-winning wines, handcrafted hard ciders, and a talented handful of local brewers producing fine craft beers. Visit Wenatchee, the heart of Washington State.